their best maps. Well, if you go into the basement and you see that big pillar that is standing there, I think many of you will be able to envision that in front of yourselves right now, fantasize about it. If you put a Shaiko behind it, you're not going to get through.
No.
That is basically it. If you put Shaiko behind the pillar, he will be taking you out, so you got to deal with him first. Either way, talking about dealing with, the Thatcher is going to be banned first, so BDS will not have that available to them in these first 6 rounds, and that will decide which operator they do not need. It's going to be the Yana. That is an interesting one. That might play into a little bit more of a oNe, Gates, or just general droning instead.
Iana's seen a big old pickup in play. If you're unaware why, it was actually the introduction of the Gun 6 alongside oNe. You think about what she can offer with a Gun 6 and a pocket 2 frag grenades and a repeating resource to try and burn through those gates in your Gemini that you get back in your pocket after only a brief bit of time. Yeah, that's why she's everywhere. Tie that in with a cheeky old good gun to kill people with, and you set yourself up for a bit of success. Oh no, wait, she's gone. She's off the board, as is Mira and Jaeger. Fairly standard there. Turns that little fight around Blue and Elbow into a little bit less of a structured affair as well. If you're setting yourselves up with potentially a mirror window looking out of kids' dorms, the hold that you can do there becomes a little bit more cautious. It just limits that tertiary site too.
Now you see the ashes open and Shaiko instantly deciding to go back onto it here. It's Brede back onto the Hibana, and he will be accompanied by Rafal on that Maverick. Seeing a 6-bit coming out on either side, the Mute to Goyo, and the Twitch is still wondering what they would like to bring. Lems has to be quick, and it's going to be Zofia. So we have a triple soft breach setup and a double hard breach as well at the same time. And as we are going to that bottom floor first, we know there's 2 ways of approaching this. You could either go for the back stairs and Blue, or you're going for a freezer and laundry push. Now, both have their advantages, both have their disadvantages. We see more successful rounds on average for the elbow and backstairs stake. However, lately, we're starting to see a bunch of actual successful ones from the laundry as well, so you got to keep that one in mind.
Now then, we set ourselves up. Obviously, oNe is in the pocket as was played before, and as I said, the Goyo and the extensions that are offered around the playstyle of this can all work pretty fluently together, but it's a matter of seeing where BDS decide to make their ingress. If they want to try and dig themselves in on the blue corner and take over the ground from that manner, or instead go for something a little bit less seen, the old-fashioned freezer with a bit of laundry hot hatch drop combined. It is, as I said, less seen nowadays. It is one of those structurally a bit tougher to pull off based on the angles of just trying to push that final couple of feet, but that's a way to open it up. Shaiko digs his way back down towards Zulu, tries to catch a second there as he's already taken the head off the first. They slip away. Not sure if they were caught a bit late on a reinforcement or they're a bit out of position. Either way, they're gone inside the servers. There's 2 bodies trying to offer a bit of a counter and support here on the top of freezer stairs as the blue starts to over-encompass. There's a bit of work being done inside tower as well. They're going for this dorms and attic control here as Shaiko's just going to be droned down, dropped by a shotgun, pre-fired round the corner, but it buys them the ability to get close. You have frag grenades in the pockets of Rafal, but you also have his ability to open the hatch inside server as well. They have options now to cut Alamo out of the location he's decided to stick himself in, but if rumors are to be believed in stats, well, it's not going to be the easiest job.
Only has 6 shells available to him. Make that 5 now as he tries to take out the drone, but Phil, so we'll have to do a lot of it work with the SMG-11, and as they fall back now, Freezer will be forfeited, and you see a couple of them also moving around to the laundry hatch, so it seems to be that the laundry freezer push is the one that will be chosen here by BDS. Is still that shield they need to take care of. Neskin playing behind it in a little side room right there, and Shaiko tries to make that work using these S-charges, hoping to open up some of the crucial information, crucial parts of this site. They already have that entry, they have that man advantage. Let's see if they can try and build on that, because with 65 seconds left, it is BDS that is already at the front door.
Now Shiro and Rafal are stacked up on Moto Hatch. They're going for a bit of counter pressure here, but it's a Lems that tries to dig down the freezer corridor, pre-fires towards, but they can't quite catch anybody as of yet. However, sometimes we've seen in EU, when time gets dangerous. They do this. Rafal has dropped in close on Moto. He's putting a bit of a fight in. Renshiro is the one that gets one. Lagonis swings around the corner, but there is Rafal inside and on the default plant spot at this point. They're trying to draw some attention away. They catch the man through the drone hole. Gone. Lagonis is taken out of the equation. One in blue, and he's just on the connector. Can swing round as the call comes out. KDS goes the wider, longer route, but he doesn't get very far. BDS are the ones that open up this game.
Very clean first round right here, and for a long time it seemed like it was going to be a laundry freezer take, but the Lems wasn't really able to get far. Shaika wasn't really able to get in either, so the rotate came out. They went down from the backstairs, they went in from blue, they tried to put the pressure down, and after that, got some kills. They started baiting out some of the utility. That's why you saw them go down on that plant, Rafal that is, and quickly go off again, because there could just as well be a C4 flying in right here. This kill, beautiful by the way. Rafal through the drone hole, spotted out the little bit of a pixel changing color every now and then, and well, with that we find ourselves a 1-0 for BDS on Oregon. As we go to kitchen dining next, the smoke will be 6 picked out, and Echo will make its entry here. Will have to be used, and we've seen it in the previous game. BDS, when they were playing in the kitchen on that was Cafe, their whole setup was located around the one yokai drone in the middle of the side. That was the one play that they had to try and counter it off. Shaika was taken out of the equation due to being pressured and due to smoke canisters, but the yokai was still there, and that is why you need to deal with these utility pieces. And that's why you 6-pick it in the first time you choose it, because you then don't give the opportunity to the opposing team to bring out that IQ and try to go for the counterplay. Of course, they are visible now, the yokais. They're no longer cloaked whenever you're not on them. So you have to be a little bit more careful with them, and that's often why they do get hidden in like these little power positions. For example, you can throw them on the bunk bed right there. It's hard to show. Or you can toss them underneath a little cabinet.
Well, Team 1, you've had a bit of a rude awakening in the name of Shaiko being in and putting a body down inside the opening 20 seconds, but you've set yourself up as a team that is quick to rotate. It's always worth mentioning and knowing that this hasn't been a roster for a huge amount of time. They came together around February, March time, obviously, with a bit of a shuffle that happened in the rosters in LATAM, and my word, have they grown in strength to be able to kind of put up a big fight here and start putting numbers down, and obviously led by some of the most impressive young gunners in any region around. So Shaiko is here to kind of remind them, well, hey, I'm Shaiko.
Hey, I'm here.
You've probably heard of me.
You've heard of me. I'm one of the best frogers in the world currently. I'm not having the best tournament as of yet, but hey, you know, that can always come, and he definitely started off strong in that one round, whilst Renshiro working on opening up from the top floor. They're trying to get some verticals, and oh, look at this. They're going to be using the Maverick right here to create a little hole. Yashi can get challenged back from it, but he can also try and get a grenade in there to dislodge them from the shower's position. And with Shaiko around the corner, surely they want to take control of that as quickly as possible by pushing up right into that hallway.
Very clever, very precise, and very trepidatious. It gives them a bit of a window and an opening to try and close back. As you saw, they fired back against them, but BDS, they're clean in their ability to try and just keep a handle on this. They want to pop that Banshee on the door, but that Wamai is going to catch the first one. There isn't a second, so the second might be able to actually drop this as the wall itself gets popped open. Finally, they have themselves a clean entrance here on the swing round into that prep room as the Aruni gate's revealed on the opposite side. Rafal steadying away and making showers a very uncomfortable place to keep yourself set up. Look at all of those red bodies that have found themselves cornered off the site, playing around the back of it itself. Nobody has active feet inside, but importantly, they still have the possibility of some verticality. They might be able to get above the kitchen if they go that deep, but Renshiro is going to make sure that he cuts them off at the pass. A first Echo drone pops him off and gives a bit of a rumble and tumble to his screen, but with Rafal grenading the door, they still cannot get close.
So yokai inside the showers just trying to hide and putting up some stunts right there as Alamau gets the first kill on the likes of one to make sure that BDS gets one drop. Renshiro picks up one, instantly gets traded. However, grenades are being tossed in, forcing KDS to go wide and through the hallway, and this might be a bit dangerous there as he gets taken out himself. Rafal picks up the refrag and brings it back to 3-3 with only 25 seconds left.
25 seconds, they've stepped themselves back into the boots of people that have died inside this room. A lot of bodies and not a lot of time to make this work. BDS tries to stick it. Lagonis goes wide and goes for the drop and gets it. They're just going to stick it with all the bravery of a man that might not know how close they are. He seemingly does, and they somehow pull it back, but now it's a 1 versus 1. Drops the last man, has a lot of time, but neither of them have a lot of health. It's got to be who sees who first and who gets that quicker reaction. I talked about verticality before. Look where Rafal has got himself up to. He is waiting for those pings, and that call drops down and pulls away. Very well played there by Levy to bring a bit of attention and then kind of push them a bit further off. But with that ticking timer and those pings still coming through, there it is, Rafal!
Had the drone ready, they had the information, but a beautiful shot nonetheless, just peeking in right there. You see the smiles on the player cams. Well played out. It took them a bit. It was a bit of a scuffle trying to get control after a bit of a bloodbath in the showers. But nothing that water cannot sweep away. 2-0 for BDS as we speak, and we are going to the top floor next. The bedrooms are up as the next battlefield, and one needs to make sure that they are going to be setting themselves up for a good round here now. BDS currently 2-0 up. That is already a better start than they had against FaZe, we can say, because we kept on trading rounds there back and forth up until FaZe suddenly managed to get 2 in a row. So that is currently not happening, but it's still going to have the opportunity to turn it around though. Team 1 is finding themselves on that top floor now. According to many, the favorite bomb side, there's plenty different ways to go at it here. You could either go for an attic and a trophy push. You would open up the master bedroom ball in that case. But what we do see a lot lately as well is that we have a player coming up from the white stairs. We have a rappel up on the kids' bedroom. We have a member coming down throughout the big window. That is going to be a very good crossfire you can set up from there on. And if you clear out the bedroom, you're going to be able to just quickly plant behind the bunk, and there's nothing they can do about it but maybe a C4 from below.
Well, Team 1, you're still keeping your site rotation hot here as you find yourself moving up to the dorms, setting yourself with potentially a little bit more of the ground under your control, because so far BDS have done a very good job at shepherding. They clear those little pockets of space that they need. Okay, it's not the biggest reliance upon it. Obviously, we saw in the first round the hot drop down electric hatch that led to a kill through a drone hold to start piecing things together and allow the other bodies to move through, but then it was pretty formulaic. There, it was the bravery of a man that stuck that diffuser when he needed to and then clutched out the rest of the round. That is one of those situations where it's the bravery of him that brings that round into their favor. So can you get a little bit more here against Team 1? Or Team 1, can you read that although it's 2-0, there are these moments where you're so bitterly close to being able to pull back that ground control?
That's it, right. They do keep on getting close, but unfortunately not able to win it out as of yet. And as Rafal's putting up some quick work right here to create a line of sight that can be used by LMs to try and cover out whilst the actual opening will be made. You see then that the Mute Jammer quickly gets taken now. You might be wondering why, right? Because, you know, you can still open it up, right? With the Maverick, you don't really need the Hibana to come across, but it allows for the drone to go in and get some information out. And as Rafal is doing quite some work on it, I don't think he's actually going to make a rotate.
Yeah, he's an artist.
He is an artist.
He's a French artist, and he calls that piece Windows. And well, we call it, as you've just pointed towards it, an open extension here around. Shaiko's seen it on walk-in, but they've seen him. Alamo goes deep inside the cover, tries to see if he can catch somebody on the close side. 3 charges are going to keep him alive, because if he goes for a rotate, he knows he's in for a very tight gunfight, but he has no real reason. There he goes, slips by. Just able to escape that with a sliver of his health that he had before. If it was a couple of bullets had gone a little bit earlier, he would have been in a very tight spot. Risk and reward. And talking over Lems, do you know how close they are to you? Do you know that he's creeping around? Neskin is just inside the kitchen waiting and causing some problems. You have the drones that are steady making their way, and you have Shaiko now on the backside of Zulu. But if Neskin's gone unchecked, this could be a big problem.
I need to check indeed, but the drone is not there, so Neskin has the opportunity to go big right here as Shaiko now wants to move up. KDS and Rafal both taking a lot of damage as the first kill comes in. Alama will be dropping Rafal and has the opportunity to go big now. Neskin is being hunted down, will be caught off whilst reloading. Lem's able to pick up a very important kill here with 20 seconds left.
Well, Shaiko was holding one angle, got dropped from the opposite side. Impact and a new body goes underneath Alamo. Takes the rotation and the moment to drop one more underneath the Lems. Meets his end from the open hatch. A cold diffuser and Team One have been everywhere. I said they were close to controlling the space. This time they made sure it never left their grip. Team One find their first round.
Bit of time used there potentially to discuss. It's an extra 10 seconds that you will not get otherwise. What went wrong? Is the big question. It wasn't Neskin actually hiding. He was picked up without doing any damage whatsoever. I think a bit of unlucky timing from Shaiko as he watched away from the bedroom door. Suddenly someone peeked him there. It's unfortunate. You're not going to make that flick happen. Got taken out as a result right there, and Team One managing to pick up their first round, bringing it back a little bit against Team BDS. They still need to equalize the score here, and Laundry Supply will be the side they choose to go. Continuing to follow their rotation pattern so far, even though only one of those rounds were won. They don't seem to care. Just continue. Follow the rotation. Stay in the flow. That is what they need to do. Maybe change a little bit on the setup, but if I'm quickly hovering over it, I do not see a single change. So gotta make sure that they're this time prepared for the push from the back.
Okay, BDS, you set yourself up for success here with your first take, and you were able to catch one of the Team One players. I'm going to say out of position. Obviously, we didn't see the entirety of the firefight because it happened so gosh dang quick, but where he was inside Zulu, you assume he was going to make his way towards servers, or he was going to try and set themselves up for a rotation, so they'll probably be more aware of that quick possibility of pace, but there's no guarantee that BDS are going to head that way again. As we said, there's multiple ways to try and crack open this site. That was just their first point of ingress here. We see Neskin and Levy both getting a little bit closer to the fire on the back of the shower corridor as the other one heads upstairs to dorms to see if they can try and catch a BDS approach by surprise.
Fall back, both of them. Using the freezer stairs to do so, but to realize we can hold on for a little bit longer. The hatches are, or the windows are being opened up, and I believe Shaiko is trying to go for the chase here. Drones are coming out as well, and now this will be the call for them to decide to fall back as they have been spotted out. Shaiko is hot on their tails. They're going to be waiting around the corner. It's not a shotgun this time around from Alamo that is holding it. Drone used as a bit of a bait, seeing if someone would shoot it. Not the case. So now Shaiko can drone out a little bit, gain some information, and will gain valuable information here as he manages to park the drone right into the drone hole, spots out two players down in that hallway as well, and now know where a lot of pressure is coming from.
Shaiko being able to crouch walk his way all the way down freezer has really got some pace into their pockets as they start to finally crack open electric and the other associated hatches. Lems with the pressure down the back stairs with Renshiro doubling up as they try and get rid of any electronics, maybe anything that was just holding on. Potentially a Banshee could have been there before. Either way, it's gone now, and that's going to make sure that the cost of this push is something that can happen much quicker. There is still another body stacked up. Shaiko on laundry stairs. Brede looks like he's going for a rotation to try and actually back up and offer some support elsewhere instead and leave the one man on a mission to his mission, making sure that instead the cover is going to come out for the trades on this opposite split side. They're happy with the Lems and Shaiko doing their own business and pinches on the opposite sides as they were able to before. It's whoever can find that first blood. The C4 gets dropped as if he knew that that was going to come through, and he's practiced every single day to shoot clay pigeons out. He drops it before it gets close.
Able to leave it up to these last 50 seconds, still a 5v5, and they need to go for the execute quick. Brede is holding off for a potential rotate through blue right there as Shaiko going quite low himself. In the meantime, it's Renshiro taking off a gunfight right there. Smoke canisters are being popped. They need to hurry, but there's no way in. It's BDS that need to find themselves their own way or create it, as Levy will be able to drop the one, but Rafal's going to go for the refrag. In the meantime, the whole chaos is happening right in front of us, and Renshiro hoping to make something happen. Picks up one, but there's still one right next to E-Box.
That's it. KDS is in between two bodies, and, well, that grenade almost makes it for no longer. He's aware there's somebody waiting. It's actually the drop. The grenade gets him in the end. Renshiro has the double, but they only have 10 seconds. Shaiko digs his way up close as Bride locks off one more. Alamau, he's able to find one more. The diffuser is cold. He's on the floor with a shotgun, picked back up and dropped. But Alamau!
1v3, beautifully played. Gets the first, Hibana rushing at him, picks up the first with the shotgun, goes prone, and gets Shaiko as well. 2-2, drawn up, equalized. And Team One, that's a big punch to give out to BDS.
There's going to be a hell of a long highlight reel for him at the end of this tournament.
It definitely will be. I think he's going to get a lot of eyes on him here as well. I believe Pangu was tweeting out to him as well, like, you're still young, there is no pressure on you. And he's definitely playing like there is no pressure. He's just getting these beautiful plays, winning these rounds, and even matches for one. For Team One.
Honestly.
Beautifully played. I have nothing else to say about it.
It's like
there's not much time left. It turns into a 3v1, but the diffuser is down. That is a good situation for him to try and clutch it. And he gets the first one just running at him. Bride, I believe it was, with the Hibana. And at that point, you need to synchronize that peek. But you don't know which angle he's at. If he's further backwards, he's going to be peeking the door towards the side first. If he's in that corner, he's going to get you if you move through laundry. So they tried their best in the likes of BDS, but it's really hard to try and synchronize with 5 seconds and no direct information, no precise information on his exact coordinates in that room.
10 seconds to go.
Okay, we're back in kitchen. We're 2-2. We're all squared up, and last time, well, this was the last round BDS were able to take. Since then, twice in a row, Team One have said, oh no, wait. We're here to make sure that we can make our mark on this tournament and this game. Latin America obviously had a little bit of a rough start to their day as APAC was able to take a win apiece from LATAM teams, and Team One are here to make sure that it's an entire guessing game for the rest of the day, an unpredictable tournament of who is going to take blood from who next. Here, though, they set themselves up with a similar extension as they played before. BDS, however, have gone for a big adaptation, pushing via meeting and open seemingly this time round instead of that big space. Prepped on a door on kitchen, though. They're not going to play that game right now. They were ready to storm the site, but opted for a slightly different and more metered approach.
All right. 2-2 as we speak. Team One. Again, defending the dining in the kitchen. Are they going to be able to hold on, or is BDS yet again going to be able to make this one stick? No, Levy takes down Shaiko. Beautiful entry. To pick up that kill, now creating a bit of verticality here to use against the players of BDS, but he doesn't know he's going to get pushed right from Attic. Alems picks up one, Alems picks up two, beautifully played, trying to go for three, but the top floor is completely cleared out. Alems, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Just hold off to the rotation because Alamau is coming. He's holding you off right there with that shotgun. We all know what he can do with it. 7 shells he has. Gotta make sure that some of those are going to be missing because 1 shell is enough to get a kill down. Flashbang's coming in. Alamau forced off, and that means they have the opportunity to push through. But a C4, getting huge, actually dealing damage to himself rather than a BDS player. Jebs are deploying in the meantime as well, and oNe is just basically being pushed around right here. Some air stunts coming out from the Yokai drones, but BDS don't seem to care about it too much because they're afraid that they are getting pushed from the white stairs. That doesn't help.
That does not help, no, but that does. Renshiro drops KDS as everybody starts to scream into each other from the opposite side. 1 down white stairs, 1 added to the tally there as Alamau battles back. There it is. Suddenly everything is back into a favor of a clutch here for a man who's digging his way down Zulu corridor. It's held from the opposite side. There's 30 seconds and Renshiro's above. He makes sure the execution is faster. They kept him at arm's length this time, and a bit of a smile and relief there on the French faces as they find themselves back in the lead.
Look at Lowe's. He's like, oh, look at that shot. That's so nice, so hot. And a nice shot's coming out from Alamo as well. Kid Storms, next side we go. BDS again in the lead. Lost 2 in a row to Team One.
Torch ready.
And look at that. The 2 rounds that were won. I'm gonna list them out to you. Round number 3, Dorms Kids. Was the opening kill from Alamau onto Rafal. Managed to pick up a 3K in that round. Round number 4 was a 4K for Alamau with a 1v3 clutch on the end right there. So as soon as he goes big, that round is going to Team 1. And Lambs, of course, with his triple kill himself in round number 5. And BDS picked that one up.
Need to locate and defuse
and now we're going to the final round of this half. Is it going to be BDS that will be getting this one with a 4-2, or is it going to be Team 1 that is going to get it equalized?
I mean, the kid's electric. There's no two ways about it. You came into this tournament and you're doing prep about all these teams, obviously. All the casters here have represented their own regions and possibly 2 as an extension, and you try your best to deep dive into all of the teams that you otherwise don't get the pleasure of watching week in, week out. You come to your book about Team 1 and you're told a few things. One of them is obviously how they've not been a team for a huge amount of time. It was an amalgamation of a few different squads brought in to try and step up, and boy, did they step up. A lot of expectations were smashed by people, and then it's followed up with just watch Alamau. It's not that the others aren't great, because they obviously are. They're putting up a hell of a fight on the biggest stage in the world, but my word, I opened this with that kid is electric, and I think he's super powered with some of these plays he's been able to drop on the opponents.
The man is 9-on-3 right now, leading the charge, the top fragger of the game so far, and just quickly get himself set up better. Going on the drones, the support player he is. It's weird to say, the support player is consistently top fragging for the team.
The SMG this tournament,
it's
unreal.
insane, it's insane. The
Surgical
SMG is
tool.
literally the talking point of the tournament, and Alamau really living up to it as well, using it to great extent. But don't forget the shotgun plays. He has perfect knowledge on when to use that shotgun or when to use the SMG. You saw that in that clutch. Beautifully played as Rafal quickly creating an opening, but KDS, he's ready. He's looking like it. He's like, can I maybe get a kill? Is this for me?
Yeah, different bit of art here. As we said, he opened windows before. Now it's a door, and they're going to try and actually double down. They have the cover over the shoulder. If the first fight goes wrong, they have a little bit more to offer. But Shaiko, he's determined to take over trophy. Digs himself all the way across, sets a claimer on the rotation to allow, I guess, some of the pressure to come in across. Concerned of the opening. A C4 potentially could drop and pop over the top, but it's the grenade that actually pops off first. Levy's gone. And a little bit of an angle is going to follow up suit as they steadily extend it 2 at a time. Seems to be the Brede method, but look at Neskin underneath as well. He's in a position to hold himself very far. He's going for a huge rotation up the tower stairs here around the back. If this goes unchecked and unaware, that could be a bit of a big blow, because one loose thread can entirely pull apart the sweater.
Definitely is. However, keep in mind, there's no one playing around the attic anymore, so it's basically given away for free. As Shaiko quickly had to dodge his flashbang from the teammate right there, and as BDS is setting themselves up, it looks like they want to go for that master bedroom plant. It looks like Brede now maybe running in soon, right behind the pool table. I'm not quite sure. There's literally players everywhere. He's still busy opening it up. Why didn't you just use 3? Why didn't you just use the 6 Kairos twice? All right, there we go. This should finally be walkable. How many did he use? Let's see. He has about 4 left, so 14 used on that wall. A lot of time wasted as well. 30 seconds left and smoke canisters being popped everywhere.
Alamau dips himself closer, pops the first onto trophies. You see the proxies are popping off, but with 20 seconds, no canisters left. He goes gun, gets one, goes for the second, can't quite pull out the shotty in time. Brede still making work and angles of the holes that they need to get in, but he's the man holding the diffuser, so someone else is going to have to hold those slips by. Gets himself into the default spot as Renshiro locks himself for a double. The C4 could have taken the round, but the flawless is instead the response. BDS didn't have much time to pull off the execute, so they made sure every shot counted.
That's the thing. They left it till late, and a single C4 could have been the losing part of that round. And it's not like we haven't seen it before, because if you remember that coastline game where it was a 1v3 situation, you saw the Malusi through the mirror window just tossing out the C4, just clicked the Nokia, and at that point got shot. But the diffuser already got dropped in that case, and the round was won. Not happening this time, though. BDS making their shots count, able to win their gunfights, and now leading in a 4v2 situation. They've already dispatched FaZe earlier on with an 8-7. That was an absolute screamer of a match. And now Team 1 trying to fight back for Latam, but
Attackers need to
aren't
locate
able
and defuse
to take the
bombs.
lead yet. A 4-2 is currently where we're on. And the question is going to be, are they going to hold on to that? Are they going to extend on that? Or are they going to be able to bring it back on the likes of Team One?
Well, now then, as we find ourselves having a bit of an extension and a bit of a moment, the BDS change-up is coming through as they head onto their defense. The lovely round breakdown there. The 2 for 2 separated by the double in the middle that was led, and I guess we'll see how this evolves into a Team One attack. It's the pressure that can be applied here on a BDS hold. It's how well they're able to read in and react. We saw some great play just in the previous game of the Latin American team in FaZe being able to read some holds, play some creative ideas, and then unfortunately get a little bit stuck in the repetition of it. Can they read BDS to the same degree, though, and try and find a little bit more success?
Question we would like to see answered. Some guesses on the defense now. Shaika will be taking care of some drones, and he's on that row. He has the verticality available to him as the hatch has been opened up, has the opportunity to rotate out. Shiro is some cover on those rear stairs, able to at least slow them down a little bit as more drones are coming out. Not quite able to get that piece of information removed, and Elamau now finding himself right in. Look at that, just opening up with the skeleton key, just not able to get any kill down, but it's enough to put a scare in BDS's hearts as they just run back to the side like, Alamau is here, we gotta go. we cannot give him anything.
Yeah, well, now he's found a new target. The body in service has had to pull back as well. Lems, though, he knows danger and he knows how to thrive close to the fire, so he's waiting for a little bit of that pressure to come around the corner, sees the edge of somebody, but knows more pressure is about to mount, so finds himself a new angle. It's that little game of bite and pull back and bite and pull back, because he's well aware that these guns that are coming against him are very well put together. Popped open the hatch on the opposite side as Alamo's opening more and more doors to allow Lagonis to pop open the hatch above Freezer 2. Steady work and a minute 20 on the board. This is Rafal being pushed with a little bit more pressure now.
We're going to get some Excars, I believe, on the E-box to make sure that Rafal's position will be hard to play in, as the Maverick already did take care of that hatch, and I believe that it is indeed they have him. Lagonis playing right on behind the sandbags, ready for any C4 to potentially fly through, but not happening, of course, as of yet. As the pressure seems to be coming down a lot from that hatch. It is also Alamau that is just completely off for now. Could be dropping into blue if he would like to. But it looks like this is going to be a laundry and a freezer take. It's just that there is still a bench in the middle of that door that is going to be very careful, very annoying as Alems picks up the first kill to KDS.
As I said, he kept biting, pulling back. He's finally been able to find someone to sink his fangs into, and that means he can stack up and hold this corner and see if he can keep it going. The grenade is burnt. There's one more in pocket, but no oNe to catch it or body. There's the spray though. Neskin slides by as cool as you can be in the freezer and sets himself up to hop over the box. The diffuser is steadying its way in, not too far behind. They're looking towards Laundry, and Lagonis is looking towards Renshiro, pulls him apart as they only have 10 seconds now. It's everything or nothing. Brede sets himself closer to drop it off. The shotgun round the corner, pops it off. Brede!
We're talking about Alamau, and how is he such a good support, but we all forget about Brede for a second, the man who came in Stage 1 2020 EUL. Absolutely topped the charge there. So many clutches he pulled out. And now you have the man just pushing up, getting one kill with the SMG. It's like, hey, I know you managed to get this nice little play with that shotgun. Let's pull that one out myself. And picks up a couple of great shots there as well, as quickly checking on the replays right here. The round, Alem starting it off with a great kill onto KDS. Neskin, however, with a great pre-fire to find him back. But then Brede right here, 1, 2, shut down, round 1. BDS, round 5 in the pocket, and we see Rafal in the clash now, as we are going to the kids' dorms and the dorms main hall. Is this going to be where BDS sets themselves up for their 6th round? Or is Team One finally going to be able to strike back now?
It's one of the best things about Siege and seeing the international competition is in a very huge kind of wave of, like, I guess love and emotion for your own scene is you get to get everything with a fresh pair of glasses. If you watch the same scene compete over and over again, it's not that you get bored in any sense, but you get used to the big, huge plays and players. Now you get to see these unbelievable, exciting players from all the different regions pop off against each other. It then also reminds you just how big these weekly players like BDS, like Lems, like Rafal, and I'm sure everyone from your own scene is getting this effect as well, as you go, oh yeah, this is how good we can be. And I'm not just saying this to EU, I honestly mean every region so far has had these huge moments that go, I love this game.
And you're talking about it like that. I remember still myself when we were talking about stage 1, it was BDS, he managed to get like his 90 millionth clutch or something with the shotgun. And you're like, just another day at the office.
Just another day.
You just see it's a 1v3 on Clubhouse Cash, and you see BDS alive. Oh, BDS has this round, you know? It's going to be that kind of a day. But you also forget that
just as like
have these players.
How much did people miss International Siege? Because honestly, this week has just been so good. Either way, we're only on the 3rd day. We've still got way more ahead of us, and it's going to continue right now with a quicker push. Lagonis isn't going to play around in the same manner that we saw a Habana trying to pop onto walk-in before. No messing.
Look at how efficient.
No fussing. You know, send your 12 pellets in and send KDS to the afterlife. Rafal, he's back on that clash, causing troubles down on the bottom of white and making sure that Lems has the beat and the read, and anyone that gets close has a hatch to drop out if he needs to go for a rotate. And obviously the big underneath rotate offers him so much. The air jab is going to cause a problem for the clash. Hops in, hops past, gets dropped. Shaiko. Yeah, didn't just have a Lems on my shoulder, I got Shaiko up top stairs too. What are you going to do now?
Rafal surviving with about 1 HP. The grenade of either Neskin or Levy will be coming in huge if they want to take care of that clash. They need to make a stick now. There is 80 seconds on that clock. Neskin just tries to fire some shots, but he's not able to find anything yet. A grenade now gets cooked, gets tossed in deep, probably soon as well. That's the down onto Rafal, and a lot of damage down onto BDS, but they don't check the corner. LMs picks up Levy. Does it do a 2-on-5 situation as Rafal just got recover right there? It's only up to Lagonis now. He's the last man standing for the likes of Team 1. And is he going to be able to make a stick? There's 60 seconds. There's plenty of time. It's just 5 members of BDS up against you. No pressure.
They set themselves up on the window. Lagonis is concerned about someone hopping out from underneath.
Oh, Shaiko, please don't.
But at that point, he's going for a deeg. He's going for a deeg tap.
He's trying to get the pistol kill in, and now even go more aggressive with the bearing 9, but it will not last. Shiro, final kill.
He's having a good time.
They're having a good time on the likes of BDS.
They got to, because in the official rulebook, if they lose in groups, they have to leave Paris, don't they? That was.
Is that in the official rulebook?
Did you see that? It was.
Didn't they already losing groups though against Empire?
No, it was part of the COVID safety. Whoever gets relegated from groups.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
Paris instantly.
I thought you meant just one game.
No.
Okay.
Otherwise, every single team would have left.
That would have been a very quick event, only 3 days.
Yeah, that was a joke that was going around. A tactical timeout is obviously the right time to take it because you don't really have any other chances. BDS, they've been able to step up the gear and tie 4 rounds in a row across defense and attack. They have been threaded perfectly. They're always in the position to pick up and carry and care for each other, and it seems like Team 1 are just struggling to try and get a handle on that tactical side. They're able to start making points of ingress, but seemingly when they come to these firefights, it's not that there's suddenly a huge slew of bodies and blood happening. It's that one of them is caught by a BDS setup. One of them is they go a little bit adrift. They think they can win a firefight, but there's another BDS player on the shoulder, as we saw there with the clash, in the cover on White Stairs, and in server room.
Yeah.
And that's where Team 1...
Are those glasses also themed according to the Team 1? I would like to go back. I don't know if we can, but it would be very cool. It looks like the same color as the jersey. Look at that! Look at that! That scene with the jersey. Of course, it's not Team 1 glasses, but it's the same colors scheme, you know? It's
that's next level. Apparently, any team, if you want to win Hap's favor, get him themed glasses.
I mean, to be fair, I sometimes see my glasses after the shirt I'm wearing as well, so it's, you know, extra bit of style points.
I like how production did cut back to his camera.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
6-2. We find ourselves back in. BDS have been able to set themselves up on the mantle and the precipice of we are one of the tournament favorites, and this is our time to take this. Team 1 have put up a good fight over the rounds that they are able to pull together, but as I was just saying, it seems like on their attacks, they're a little bit too loose, a little bit too wailing.
Yeah.
They need to try and coordinate themselves just a little bit, set up for a trade here and there, and maybe try and minimize that width that they're going for, at least in the initial kind of minute and a half of the round.
So BDS seems to be able to pretty well shut down Neskin and KDS at this point. They haven't had too big of an impact yet. And well, Alamau on his attack also not really allowed to roam freely, do what he did throughout the rest of the group stages. His defense is really where he shined this match. Fortunately for the Team 1 fans, not really having the biggest of impacts yet during the attack, but it shouldn't all be on him. He already did a lot. He already won them a round or two. Actually, 2 rounds, yeah.
Well, holding meeting for the first time today, with obviously Kitchen being the opposite and alternate angle, the oNes. Across T3 and T2, give Renshiro a little bit more safety alongside his Wamai. He is trying to stay alive up here for as long as possible, draw some attention and as much utility burn as possible. Addic has to sort of stay in his favor. He accidentally just dropped his oNe. A little bit of a mistake, but it's Renshiro. He's 10-4. You can forgive it. What you can't forgive there is Alamau. He drops from the underneath of the tower stairs and finds the first against the Lems taken out of the equation. That really isolates Renshiro now because he knows the bottom of the tower has fallen.
Are they putting out more pressure though? It seems like they're just completely rotating around. Look at that, KDS, Lagonas and Neskin all being careful of the window potentially being popped open. Now heading towards the small tower. We are, of course, in kitchen and meeting. So if you do get control of dining, you have the opportunity to get yourself inside the kitchen. That's how it goes. There's a door in there, so you can just walk through. You don't necessarily have to deal with the tower. You can just make sure that you have security. You can go for a safe plant in that case and make sure that the round goes your way. But Shaika goes for a drop. Does he know? He does know. Look at that. Goes for the knife just for the extra BM points onto Alamau. And that is going to be making it back into a 4-on-4 situation whilst he tries to refine himself away and route back up to security.
That's a bit of a blow, a bit of a loss there, and as they try and reset themselves up here for the push, they obviously re-evaluated and got that first body, but this puts them yet again level pegging. Bride is the one locking off onside the wall inside kitchen. You can see some red bodies rotating over the top of dorms as well. They want to try and take that vertical fight too. It's a very important part of this, especially if you're going for the kitchen take plant instead of taking over stage and trying to push the backside of meeting from tower. They seemingly went with plan B instead.
Shaika still has an impact available to him, so for those who might be wondering why the door hasn't been opened up yet by him, he might be waiting until the pressure is actually down inside of security. He can just impact and run through rather than having to punch it, so he is a bit more of a surprise factor. So keep that in mind as he is prone, trying to look underneath. In the meantime, Neskin and KDS moving up on the white stairs, hoping to clear the top floor. First one fails, Renshiro picks up that initial kill, gets refragged though. Neskin ready to strike. 30 seconds left, they need to go for a plant, and we still have Shaigo hiding at the bottom of white stairs and freezer.
He is nowhere else he needs to be, but they need to try and get that diffuser into a room that they've otherwise not been able to breach any of. Server pops its way open with a grenade. He slips past, but as you said, Shaiko's there waiting. Oh, Shaiko, what are you doing? Neskin somehow pulls out the biggest kill he needs to. It's a 3 versus 1 as they try and stick it. Rafal's above, drops one, goes and looks for the second with the C4. There it is. He hits the body of a dead man. He can't quite find the angle, and they're going to find themselves in a post-plant 40 seconds. Plenty of time for Rafal to go for a rotate and decides to find his way over to the meeting hatch, but Lagonas is already waiting there, and what a kill on Shaiko that was.
Shaiko to completely whiff there. Have to give it up to that one. The kill that came through on him, he threw it, but he thought he was further down the hallway, didn't expect him to be that close to the door, completely missed every single shot. That resulted into the round loss right there. If he was going to be able to pick up that kill, that would have been huge for the likes and for the team of BDS. Here you have it, he just didn't expect him there. He didn't expect Neskin to be in there, but the sound was enough for him to turn around and get the kill. And the plant goes down, and 45 seconds are on the clock, and then you know it. I'm in a 1v2 and I need to drop a hatch. There's about a 5% chance that you're going to be able to get away from that one alive.
6-3. 3 more rounds. They've got to try and thread together to see if they can pull themselves into OT and try and pull something back. But after taking a tactical time out and getting the next win, that's the biggest sign of success. However, that was the tertiary site. That was the one that should technically be BDS's weakest of their 3, and you find yourselves back at their primary. The first one they brought you to, and the first one they were able to lock it off. And lock themselves up with some success. But if we throw our minds back to how it went, it was a big clutch with a close shotgun and not a huge amount of time left.
Yes.
Team 1 do have something that they can build on.
There is something they can build on indeed. Of course, it wasn't the amount of clutch that Alamau had, but it was the last couple of seconds they had. They needed to push in. While you find BDS at that point with an M59, you're not going to be able to push through. You need to deal with that player earlier on. And as they do bring the line now, have the Gun 6 available to them as well. It's currently out of hand. I'm not sure if that's to move quicker or to go for a push. Or it was to move quicker, have that extra bit of movement speed. Because we saw before, Chalet it was opening up the trench door, pushing through like that. I believe it was, yeah. Otherwise it would have been Consulate on the back door. So, you know, it can go for a rush, but it was just on the movement speed in this case.
Renchiro's waiting at, well, I was going to say the top of the tower stairs. That's obviously not what I mean. It's a very tall tower. The top of the bottom of tower stairs. Looking towards the T1 doors to see if anybody decides to swing their way in. The first EU1D rumbles in the sky, and Alamau is the one that's trying to find that fight with Renchiro. Droned ahead by Lagonis. They're looking to put quick pace here. And instead of going for the laundry and the blue take that they did, or the freezer take that they did before, they're instead focusing onto blue instead. And again, putting these quick bursts of pressure. You can hear the drones working over. You can see themselves setting up, and now Alamau's going to hold this and allow the rest of his players to start doing some work on the other hatches, Electric, and potentially Elbow itself.
Alamau holding off. Levy in the meantime opening up that hatch. Very careful about it. Needs to make sure that no C4 will be coming up. You have two of them on the side of BDS, Chiro and LMs. Both have one available. There's Shanko putting up some of these magnets. Looks, however, that there is currently not too much attention from BDS towards the freezer. So that is going to be a free bit of ground to take for Team 1. Pretty sure they'll do so happily.
Well, Lems is setting himself up with the drones. Oh, no, there it goes. No more toys for you. Dropped by the shield as it got dropped to the Ash, swinging around the bottom of Freezer, but it gives you the idea where they're coming from. He said that they were setting themselves up, and they were, but it does seem like they're actually going to pull away from Electric. They wanted to give the fear that they might put some pressure onto Blue and maybe just clear them and force them into a more uncomfortable situation here. There is still one body on the backside, and it's KDS. As they swap places with Alamau, who's going to try and get himself in with the diffuser on the laundry side instead. But again, big angles. It seems like they're still adapting. I said it before, maybe they were going for laundry, but no. They've pulled back over to the Electric hatch side now, with Alamau is going to dig his way in. There's now a bit of a swap and a burn of pressure here as the grenades start to roll their way down into the E-box itself. Rafal is round on the close corner, spraying towards the barrel's door as there's one more blue body to back him up on the swing. Everything starts to pop with Renchiro and Shaiko either side. Might not know of KDS, who's holding the angle on barrels. There goes Levy, and there goes Levy, and there goes Alems too. But the spray comes back blue as they find themselves under the EU1D. It's all over the shop and all over the map. Suddenly, everything has flipped over. Two blue bodies inside blue, and the other two have found their way to the laundry side. But with only 15 seconds, Alamau has to look at the floor for 7 seconds. Lagonis makes it a little bit easier as they drop one more, and under the cover of the rumble, they get themselves a plant off. Renchiro gives his location away, but now it's another post-plant situation. Nose one's in freezer's going to try and take that fight first, gives the game away, sees him for a second, but baits and plays and pulls away, wants a little bit of pressure to come through, couldn't quite get away from that flash, somehow survives and finds himself success in Lagonis' head, but Alamau, he's pulled his way back off to Elbow. He's got himself a little bit of sense of security here, tries to hop through the rotation. Renchiro,
no time. Renchiro gets it. Yes, he does.
He doesn't make it. BDS.
You see the confusion as well. They had no information. He thought it was going to be saved. That is really frustrating to watch. You instantly sound like, what? Like, what are you defusing? They had no clue. They probably thought he went off. And BDS, they win it right here. Beautiful clutch up to come in. And man, that was way closer. I was going to say, like, there's so much pressure coming down on the backside in these final seconds. And then you have Alamau to get his buddy sneaking through in laundry, trying to get that plan down. And it's almost worked out. It was a 1v2 situation, but perfectly played out by Renchiro, who wins them the game.
A bit of frustration comes through there from Team 1, but you could see the smiles on BDS's face. Renchiro went for the stick. You're on 6-3. You may as well at this point. Alamau, so close to being able to pull something big off the back of that and find just a little bit more success for Team 1. Unfortunately, not today. Well, I say not today. That was, I think, their first game of the day. They've still got a couple more too. Might have been the second. Either way, we'll find out as we go to a quick break before we head back to the desk. Now,